Welcome to the Lincoln City Council meeting of June 2nd, 2025. Please be advised a copy of the Open Meetings Act is posted at the back of the chambers by the northwest door. Let us all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a short moment of silent meditation. Please remain standing if you are able. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The order of business of the City Council is as follows. The clerk will call the items listed on the agenda. Under public hearing, anyone wishing to speak on an item must first register and sign in at the table located in the lobby. The council shall require any member of the public addressing the council to identify themselves, the name of any organization represented by such person, and their address, unless the address requirement is waived to protect the security of the individual. Each speaker should state whether they are speaking in favor or in opposition to an item. Testimony is limited to 5 minutes per speaker. Anyone wishing to speak on an agenda item shall come forward after the clerk reads the item and the applicant has presented. After public comments, the applicant may make one short rebuttal. After all public hearings, the council will vote on resolutions and items listed under third reading. On the second and last Monday of the month, immediately prior to adjournment, anyone may speak on any issue not on the agenda for that date, nor plan for a future agenda. We will ask that speakers strive for civility and allow the business of council to proceed unimpeded. Will the clerk please call the first item of business today?
Our first item of business today for the City Council meeting of Monday, June 2nd, 2025 is a reminder that due to the Juneteenth holiday, City Council will not meet on June 16th. Next would be our consent agenda, sections 1, 2, and sections 3.
All right. Is there anyone here to speak on consent agenda items?
Good afternoon, Council. Maggie Stuckey-Ross, 3131 O Street, Parks and Recreation Director. I am here on behalf of Councilman Weber on item 1C, which is a resolution celebrating a local golfer who had quite a hit on Highlands number 8 during the LPS Boys City Championship. So on behalf of the Highlands team and the Parks and Recreation Department, we're so excited to celebrate this with you today. I'd like you to meet Logan, who is a member of the Lincoln Southwest golf team. Logan.
Hi. Good afternoon. I want to first say a very big thank you for allowing me to be here today and considering me for this recognition. As a graduating senior, I've had some time to reflect on what high school has meant to me. And as a graduating senior, some of the biggest highlights that has been while I was at Southwest was having fun with my team and trying to do my best on these holes that I played on. And I really enjoyed playing it with this passion, and I hope to continue to do this after high school. I have been playing on Southwest golf team all 4 years of my life, and I have worked my way up from JV to varsity. This year, I had to work every week to keep my spot on varsity. We had a great team this year and a lot of talented players. The Lincoln Championship Tournament is always one that I look forward to each year. The hole-in-one was the most amazing experience I have had playing golf. I was lucky enough to have both of my coaches with me on that hole. And my hole-in-one happened on a par 3 at the Highlands Golf Course. My coach, Kim Christensen, who is here today, was with me at that tee box. And both of my coaches have helped me several times throughout the season to plan how best to play a hole. And before I hit the ball, I strategized with my coach on the best club to use and how to use the weather to my advantage. I was completely shocked when it went in the hole. I think we all were. So. Golf has taught me lessons that go way beyond this course and courses like discipline, mental toughness, patience, and how to carry myself through challenges like that. My teammates, coaches, and the entire golf experience help shape my character during this high school experience. And I'll carry those lessons forward as I continue my education and pursue a career in physical therapy. Thank you again to the council for recognizing student athletes and allowing us to share our stories. I am proud to be from Lincoln, and I am thankful for the support that this community gives me, to young people like me. Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I have two quick questions for Logan. The first one, Logan, is would you say that the Highlands Golf Course is your favorite now?
It's got to be now.
It has to be now in beautiful Northwest Lincoln. And then
The counselor is leading the witness.
Yeah. Whoops. And then my second question is, I know you mentioned you had your coach here. Do you have some other family members here with you?
So I got my mom, I got my whole tribe, my dad in the back, my grandma, she's with me too with a lot of these golf tournaments, and my brother, he's with me. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, Logan.
Congrats.
We'll be voting on this shortly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I want to also say that, what a nice representative from Lincoln Southwest High School. I think it speaks to your character and team. So, thank you very much, coaches, mom and dad, grandparents. Done a wonderful job. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, is there any other presentations on the consent agenda? Seeing none, go ahead and move us forward.
We can now vote on these items. Item 1A is resolution levying the special taxes assessed for the cost of the improvements in the College View Business Improvement District, Havelock Street Maintenance Business Improvement District, North 27th Street Maintenance Business Improvement District, South Street Maintenance Business Improvement District, University Place Maintenance Business Improvement District, and West O Maintenance Business Improvement District, introduced by Bowers.
So moved.
Second.
Second, Beckius.
Okay.
Any discussion? Seeing none, go ahead and move forward for the vote.
Weber,
yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Duden,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Beckius,
Yes.
Carlson.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 1B, appointing Alex Tolson to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board for a term to expire April 27th of 2028.
Chair Carlson,
Yes, go ahead.
I would make a motion to withdraw 25R-221. Mr. Tolson will not be serving on the Parks and Recreation Board.
I'll second it.
Motion's made and seconded. Go ahead and call the roll.
Bowers,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Duden,
Yes.
Beckius,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Carlson.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 1C is resolution acknowledging Logan Grabenhoff's athletic achievement at the 2025 Lincoln Public Schools Championship for Golf, introduced by Weber.
So moved.
Second?
Second, Beckius. Any discussion? Go ahead, Councilman.
Thank you,
Weber?
Chair Carlson. I just wanted to read the resolution into the record. A resolution acknowledging Logan Krabenhoff's athletic achievement at the 2025 Lincoln Public Schools Championship for Golf. Whereas on April 14th, 2025, Logan Krabenhoff, a senior at Lincoln Southwest High School, achieved a remarkable athletic milestone by hitting a hole-in-one during the Lincoln Public Schools Boys Golf Championship. And whereas this extraordinary feat took place on hole number 8 at the Highlands Golf Course, a 188-yard par 3 hole using an 8-iron, showcasing both skill, composure under the competition and pressure. And whereas the Highlands Golf Course, a premier city-operated facility, represents the high quality and accessibility of all municipal golf courses in Lincoln, which continue to provide residents with top-tier recreational opportunities. And whereas the city of Lincoln takes pride in its shared commitment with Lincoln Public Schools in fostering the next generation of leaders and athletes through a shared commitment to education, youth development, and community enrichment. And whereas Logan's accomplishment reflects the broader benefit of youth participation in athletics made possible through the investment and collaboration of the City of Lincoln and Lincoln Public Schools in creating supportive environments for student growth, both inside and outside the classroom. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and City Council of the City of Lincoln, Nebraska, do hereby jointly congratulate and commend Logan Krabenhoff on his outstanding achievement at the 2025 Lincoln Public School Boys Golf Championship.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Seeing none, go ahead and call the roll.
Schob,
Yes.
Duden,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Beckius,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Carlson.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Okay, items 2A through 2C were introduced by Schob.
So moved.
Second.
Seconded by Washington. Is there any discussion? Go ahead and call the roll.
Beckius,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Duden,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Carlson.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Okay. That concludes our consent agenda. We'll move to section 4, our public hearing liquor resolutions. I'll call items 4A and 4B together. Item 4A and B is application of Frosty Mug Inc., new business as Harry's Wonder Bar for a Class C liquor license located at 1621 O Street, and the related manager application of Michael Scott Ritter.
Hey.
John.
Michael Scott Ritter, 1220 Twin Ridge Road, Lincoln, Nebraska, 68510.
All right. If you want to tell us a little bit about your application.
We're just doing a little corporate restructuring from one entity to the next.
Okay, great. Any questions for the applicant?
Sure.
I think that's all. Thank
All right.
you. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thanks.
Okay, moving forward.
Is there anyone from the public?
Oh, I'm sorry. Anyone on the public would like to comment on this item? A or B, for A or B? Seeing none, we can go ahead and move forward.
I'll call item 4C and D. Application of Blue Collar Brewing Company, LTD, doing business as Blue Collar Brewing Company for a Class L liquor license located at 2166 Magnum Circle, Suite 300, and the related manager application of Nicholas Grable.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thanks for the opportunity. I am Nick Grable, the owner of Blue Collar Brewing Company. I reside at 1521 Southwest Derrick Avenue. I'm asking permission today to produce and distribute beer in Lincoln and hopefully Nebraska.
Right. Any questions or comments from council?
Is that why you wore a blue shirt today?
It is.
What kind of beer? What kind of beer are you going to be producing?
I'm hoping to just produce a light lager beer
Okay.
catered to the blue collar people.
Okay. Very good. Sounds good.
Any other questions from council? Thank you.
Good luck.
Cool.
Is there anyone from the public that'd like to comment on this application? Seeing none, we can go ahead and move forward.
I'll call item 4D, manager application of manager application of Lily Ann Rose for Kinseth Hotel Corporation, doing business as Residence Inn located at 5865 Bobley Lane.
Is the applicant here? Okay, any members from the public like to comment? Seeing none, we can move forward.
I'll call item 4F, application of Star City Pride for a special designated license to cover an outdoor area measuring approximately 300 feet by 155 feet on 17th Street between O and P Street on June 14, 2025 from 12 p.m. to 11:55 p.m.
Hi, welcome.
Howdy, y'all. So like Sweeney mentioned, Star City Pride will be having day 2 of our Pride Festival outside of Doss House.
Sorry to interrupt, I'll just have you state your name
Yes.
and address first.
Yeah,
please.
Andrew
Thank you.
Dominguez Farias, 1900 K Street, Apartment 422, Lincoln, Nebraska 68510. Star City Pride will be having our Pride Festival outside of Doss House at 1640 O Street. It'll be closing off 17th Street between P and O. And we'll be also working with the next applicant, Norris Bland LLC, who's in charge of Doss House. So they'll also be a part of that as well. And we'll be having that venue closed off from noon till midnight.
Great, great. Any questions for the applicant from council? Go ahead, Tom.
Thank you, Chair Carlson. Andrew, you said this was day 2 of Star City Pride. Can you tell us a little bit about day 1 of Star City Pride?
Yeah, thank you, Councilman Beckius. So we will be having day 1 of Pride at the Park at Woods Park on Friday, June 13th. Friday, June 13th, great day. And we'll be closing off Woods Park off from 4 p.m. until 10 p.m. It will be a wide variety of family-friendly vendors and musicians and artists that will be going to be there. And it's going to be the first time we're hosting an event like that in quite a while. Apparently they used to host events like that in the early 2000s. So it'll be really nice to bring Pride back in the park for our community.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Any other questions from council? Thank you, appreciate it. Anyone from the public like to comment on this application? Seeing none, we can go ahead and move forward.
Council Chair, may I also go ahead and just read item 5G into the record since it is related to the item that I just read
Sure.
and had testimony on?
Yes, 4G, correct?
4G, correct.
4G, yeah.
Item 4G is the application Norris Land LLC doing business as Doss House for a special designated license to cover an outdoor area measuring approximately 300 feet by 155 feet on 17th Street between O and P Street on June 14th, 2025 from 12 p.m. to 11:55 p.m.
Is that applicant here?
That applicant here, no. Do you have any questions for staff or anything?
I did have a question for that applicant. I just wanted to know what their history has been at Doss House with their existing liquor license. It wasn't on the application.
Scott Parker, Lincoln Police Department, 575 South 10th Street. I would assume you're talking about violation history.
Yeah.
There were a few violations, if I remember off the top of my head, probably 2-3 years ago. We actually sat down with their security company to try and figure that stuff out, and we haven't received anything since. So,
Okay, good to hear.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, appreciate it. All right, any other council members? Questions? No? Okay, anyone from the public like to comment on this application? Seeing none, we can go ahead and move forward.
Mr. Chair, seeing no one else coming forward, I'd like to make a motion that we approve items 4A through 4G.
I'll second.
The motion's been made, seconded by Washington. Go ahead and call the roll.
Bowers?
Yes.
Washington?
Yes.
Schob?
Yes.
Duden?
Yes.
Beckius?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Carlson?
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. That concludes section 4. Move on to section 5, public hearing resolutions. I'll call item 5A, accepting and approving the report of new and pending claims against the city from May 1st through May 15th of 2025.
Okay, is there anyone here to speak on new and pending claims against the city? If so, you can approach.
Would this be the appropriate time for Mr. Kobe to come forward, correct?
Correct.
I'm Perry Persh. I'm an attorney. Please. And this is Dr. William Kobe. There were a few exhibits that we wanted to put forward in support of his claim. I thought that what might be most appropriate for purposes of an introduction is to give you a map view of where the incident occurred. This area right here, this parking lot, is the Walmart parking lot. And this area off screen here would be 27th Street. And this is Ticonderoga Drive, which essentially connects the Walmart shopping area with 27th Street. The accident, as you will see in the photos, occurred in this area right about here. And in fact, this light post will be visible in the photos. And my understanding, and I'll ask Mr. Kobe to confirm, is that he was coming north to south and stopped at the stop sign right here. The bus was coming south to north and stopped at this stop sign right here. That Mr. Kobe then went before the bus, and the bus came after Mr. Kobe, and that the collision was approximately in here. Is that accurate, Mr. Kobe?
That's accurate.
Okay. So, and I'll go to the photos now, which are marked as exhibit number 2.
Perry?
Yes,
Could you please speak into the microphone for us? And-
Sure, of course. My
and
apologies.
Could you give us your name and address as well?
Of course, forgive me. Perry Persh. My business address is 808 P Street, Suite 300, Lincoln, Nebraska, 68508.
Thank you.
So you'll see here then, these are photos that Mr. Kobe, I'm sorry, Dr. Kobe, we've known each other a long time, and I haven't gotten used to calling him Mr. Doctor yet, but Dr. Kobe took directly after the accident, and you can see that he wasn't able to fit the entire bus in, but that appears to be the light post behind it. And what's interesting, I think, about this photo is that you can see that the corner is only right here for the stop sign that Mr. Kobe Dr. Kobe stopped at. And then I think it's important to note that the bus struck Dr. Kobe from behind in the back left of his vehicle. And I think Councilman Duden, who's a retiring police officer, or retired police officer, would tell you that generally speaking, any time that somebody is hit from behind, the person hitting them is to blame. And if we go back then to the map here, I have been struggling to try and understand how it was. You can see right here, according to Google Maps, this is approximately 18 feet across right here, and that the standard lane size, according to the Nebraska Department of Transportation, is 12 feet. So this was not a 2-lane street where Dr. Kobe occupied the right lane and the bus occupied the left, and then Dr. Kobe tried to force his way over. If Dr. Kobe was in fact prior to the bus, then the bus must have really gunned it here to try and make the turn, perhaps because a car was approaching. But that would be the only explanation then why the crash would have occurred that spun Dr. Kobe around then so that he crossed over the median and was facing in the other direction before he drove up into the grass. Is that accurate?
Yes.
So as far as presentation on the accident, we have what's been marked as exhibit number 1, the map where it occurred, exhibit 2, which is the photo of the vehicles and their position on the road as set forward in exhibit number 1. For exhibits 3, 4, 5, and 6, we have medical bills. This is from Lincoln Radiology Group, marked as exhibit number 3, from Bryan Health, marked as exhibit number 4, from Imagine Software, that might actually be a different statement from Lincoln Radiology Group, similar to 3, and then B Street Collision Center is marked as exhibit number 6. I would note Dr. Kobe is a very thrifty individual. He was driving a vehicle that was from 2000, which had 200,000 miles on it. It was a very large Ford Expedition, which is probably about the only vehicle that can hold you, unless you get something custom.
And we are at our 5 minute here too, so if you want to wrap up quick, but we'll have city staff likely comment on this also. So.
Okay, well, Dr. Kobe's medical bills were
$7,034.
And then the fair market value of his vehicle approximately would be about $3,000. And then, of course, to make him whole, we would request that you also compensate him for his pain, suffering, and inconvenience. If he could just briefly speak on that.
Yeah, it's been pretty tough. I didn't have my vehicle for a few months while I was waiting for Collision Place to fix it. Then they told me they couldn't fix it, and I got it back. I've been driving it, but it doesn't work the same. Taking Ubers, different things. So it's definitely been an inconvenience. The medical bills, I've had to, this was like 7 months ago, so I've had to pay on those so that it wouldn't damage my credit. It's just been an inconvenience.
Yeah, I think we'll have city staff here come forward for questions right now too. So if you want to go ahead and have a seat. Right. City staff, is there someone here prepared to present on this too? Or?
I'd like to, Council Chair Carlson, I'd like to hear from, yes, Attorney Ely.
Thank you.
I'd like to understand the correspondence you've had with Dr. Kobe, and then maybe Director Elliott.
Lily Ely, Assistant City Attorney, 555 South 10th.
And can you explain the correspondence you've had with the complainant?
Correspondence regarding this claim. Yep, so we've received his claim. I didn't have any specific questions or additional information that I needed in order to evaluate the claim. We did receive a phone call from him asking for status on his claim, which is not uncommon. Very pleasant. I haven't had any issues. That's all I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the reason for denial?
Sure. So the denial is actually based almost entirely on the police report in this matter. So the police report, I would say, substantially describes the accident much differently than was just described. Both vehicles were actually traveling westbound on Ticonderoga, not turning into each other at either time. The city bus was in, the southmost lane pursuant to the accident report. And Dr. Kobe was in the northmost lane. And then if you look deeper into the accident report, it indicates that at the time of the accident, Dr. Kobe was maneuvering his vehicle and changing lanes. You can see that on page 3 of the accident report. And then if you continue on to page 5 of the accident report, you'll see that the driver actions at the time of crash were failed to keep in proper lane. And then if you continue on, to page 6, which describes the city of Lincoln driver at the time of the accident, he was moving essentially straight ahead. And then if you continue on to page 8 of the accident report, he had no contributing contributing action at the time of the crash.
Thank you.
Councilman Newton, go ahead.
Pertaining to that would have been a nice document for everybody to have, is that accident report. When I looked at it, one thing I wish the Lincoln Police Department would do is a diagram of city vehicles involved in an accident. That would at least give us the point of impact. I agree that there was a lane-changing transaction that was taking place when the accident occurred, but it would be nice to have more of a diagram. The photographs that Perry produced don't really show impact, that sort of thing. It shows bus there, and it shows a picture of the damage on the SUV. But it doesn't really tell the full story. It would be nice to had the drivers involved, that sort of thing. This is not a court of law, so denial of the claim.
Councilman Schob, or are you pointing?
I'm-
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Ms. Easley, for coming forward. I need a little bit more help on this. Usually when we see claims against the city, there's some type of, most often we see a tree fell on a car. And we talk about the Civil Claims Tort Act and whether the city knew there was an issue and had time to resolve it. This is a little different than that. I assume the plaintiff is asserting that we were negligent in something we did. Is that how you would approach it? How does this differ from a claim that we normally see?
Sure. So same issue of negligence, just a little bit of a different evaluation since it's a car accident and not a tree falling on a car. But yes, it'd be a negligence standard. So whether the driver of the StarTran vehicle was negligent at the time of the accident.
And what evidence would you use to disprove negligence, or what evidence should they provide to prove negligence?
Sure. So a number of factors without going into them specifically. In this specific case, I have absolutely no evidence that indicates that the StarTran driver was maneuvering in the way that Dr. Kobe has alleged. And in fact, the investigator's report says substantially otherwise. So in this particular case, I've based it almost entirely on the police report that we have in this matter.
I understand. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Councilman Bowers or Beckius, did you have something?
I was just going to ask if I could see the pictures.
Yeah.
Any other questions for staff? Okay. What's that? Is there some rebuttal, or would you like to make another statement too? Go ahead and approach the microphone, please.
Thank you. Dr. Kobe would confirm that, in fact, although he had been struck, as evident in the pictures in the back corner of his vehicle, the police actually never contacted him to take a statement from him, and he was surprised by the contents of the police report. Dr. Kobe thought, having been struck from behind, that this was in fact a no-brainer, so to speak, and that of course the city would take liability for the actions of an employee in the course of employment.
Go ahead, Councilman Bowers.
I got a question for you. So, I hear what you're saying about, if there was an accident that hit from behind, that the city was responsible. My question is, though, is if there was a merging over that then caused damage to the back of the vehicle, then I guess that's where I'm struggling to necessarily agree with you, and just kind of give you a moment to respond to that, right? Because, if there is a merging of the car that happens, and then the vehicle that's in the correct lane strikes the back of that vehicle, wouldn't it be the driver's fault?
To that, we would respond, and Dr. Kobe, I would ask you to correct me if I'm wrong, that this was not a two-lane road where Dr. Kobe turned into one lane and the bus turned into another. This was a broader than required one-lane road, and that the bus came up so quickly that the only explanation that we have for why the bus, if it turned after Dr. Kobe hit him, was because the bus driver must have gunned it, so to speak, to pass the intersection, and then the bus driver, as a matter of physics and to prevent passengers from falling, couldn't then slam on the brakes in time to prevent the impact with Dr. Kobe. But Dr. Kobe, as he took the right-hand turn into the lane, believed that he was flowing just with the natural curvature of the road on a wide one-lane street leading up to make a left turn onto 27.
That's all true. That's all true. Where I got hit, there wouldn't have been time for me to come all the way from this lane over to that lane before I got to the end of the street. I made that turn, and pretty much soon after I got hit.
And I would note, you can tell from the photos that he was struck shortly after making the right-hand turn. This wasn't a case where they were both approaching 27th Street and the bus was in the turn lane and he was in the right-hand lane forcing his way over.
Any other questions?
Chair Carlson, when Ms. Ely came forward to describe the intersection, I thought it was described as a two-lane road, and that the bus was in the southernmost lane going west, and Dr. Kobe was in the northernmost lane going west. Am I incorrect in remembering that it was a two-lane?
Take a seat, yeah.
So, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. You can stay there.
Yeah, so we're at the intersection. I'm going like this, bus is like that. I make the turn, then the bus makes the turn, then I get hit. And I will say, I needed to make a left, I'm sorry. So when I made that turn, I wasn't all the way over to the right. I was kind of in the middle because okay, let me describe the road. It's one and then it widens out to two. And so I'm getting over and I get hit. That's probably why I spun out, because I was steering over to the end as the traffic flowed down and became two lanes.
So I just want to be clear, it's a two-lane road, and we do have Director Elliott here if people have additional questions about the specific road layout. I also do want to clarify that the officer did interview Mr. Kobe in this case. I've reviewed the body-worn camera video associated with this accident, and he does go and speak with Mr. Kobe immediately when he arrives on the scene. So I do want to clarify that for the record.
Thank you.
Councilman Weber?
Thank you, Chair Carlson. Well, Attorney Ely is up here. I guess, what is the City Council's role when it comes to claims under the Municipal Torts Claims Act?
Sure. So city law makes a recommendation either to approve or deny a claim, and then City Council's role will be to either approve or not approve city law's recommendation.
Okay. And in instances where it's denied, is that the end of the road typically, or does the claimant have additional avenues to seek relief?
The claimant can file a lawsuit in district court.
Okay, so this is not the last step in the process necessarily.
It is not.
Thank you. Councilman Duden?
Yeah, I was just going to, looking at Google Earth, it looks like it's 4 lanes with a divided median in the middle.
Sure. So 2 westbound, 2 eastbound.
Not 2 lanes, it's 2 lanes westbound and 2 lanes eastbound.
That's correct.
Can't see the lane lines. May or may not be lane lines there. It may be 18-foot wide, 9 foot for each lane, which is narrow. There's no doubt about that. But it's a 4-lane divided roadway.
All right, any other questions? Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else that'd like to address the council on claims against the city? If so, please come forward. See no one coming forward, we can go ahead and move forward. Oh, yeah, excuse me.
The voting session.
Okay. Yeah, we'll move into the vote on resolutions.
I'll call item 5A, accepting and approving the report of new and pending claims against the city for May 1st through May 15th of 2025, introduced by Beckius.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Weber. And did you have a couple motions, student?
2 motions to make here. The first one is bill number 25R-223. They're both at that same number. I would like to have on line 10, the claim of Audrey Taylor should be removed from the list of denied claims. And on line 11, the claim of Inessa Drafsic.
Zafik.
Thank you. It should be removed from the list of denied claims.
All right, motion's been made. Is there a second?
I'll second and ask a clarifying question. Ms. Taylor's removal is for what reason? And is it to accept it or to hold it back?
It's really just being rescheduled, so it's being moved to pending to come back on the schedule as denied for a later date so that the claimant can appear for public hearing.
Thank you. And then the second motion to amend on Inessa Savik.
Yeah, so she called today, indicated she had additional evidence that she wanted to submit, and so I have recommended, City Law has recommended that her claim be moved to pending so City Law can review that information and determine if it's changed our recommendation.
Thank you.
Councilman, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Are you okay accepting these as bound together in one motion, or should they be done separately?
Two motions.
I think they came as two motions to amend, so should vote on the first motion to amend and then the second motion to amend.
I was expecting one motion, finish that one, then come with the second one. When you read them together, I thought we were conflating them. My misunderstanding.
That's my fault.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Bad motion on the
Now you got me confused here. So. All right, we can move forward with the vote on the first amended motion.
Okay, first motion, Beckius,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Duden,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Carlson.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0.
And now the second motion.
Needs to be moved.
Beckius,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Duden,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Carlson.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0.
And now the main motion.
Beckius,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Duden,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Carlson.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Okay, that concludes section 5. Section 6, we'll move on. I'll call item 6A. It's our public hearing ordinances, second reading, and related resolutions. Item 6A is amending chapter 3.30 of the Lincoln Municipal Code relating to restaurant occupation tax to update and clarify definitions, expand enforcement, collection, and notification procedures, and ensure consistent permitting and reporting.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, councilors. Rick Tast, Assistant City Attorney, City of Lincoln Law Department, 555 South 10th Street, Suite 300. Before you are some proposed amendments to Lincoln Municipal Code 3.30. Law has been working closely with Finance Department for a number of years to collect the occupation taxes from restaurants and drinking places of what really is a very, very small percentage of establishments that don't pay timely. The primary changes have to do with the method of service and some of the enforcement aspects of the hearings that take place if and when they have to take place.
Is there any questions for staff this time? Seeing none, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Moving forward, 6B. Or, excuse me, is there any, anyone else from the public who'd like to speak on this? Seeing none, we can go ahead and move forward to 6B.
All right, I'll call item 6B, amending the pay schedule for employee group whose classification is assigned to the pay range which is prefixed by the letter M by changing the pay range for class 3161 emergency communications head from M05 to M07.
Welcome, Director.
Good afternoon, Barb McIntyre, 555 South 10th Street, Human Resources Director. And I just want to go through this. Our data does support this market increase in moving this pay range. The budget can support the change, and we think that it's important to us to keep our positions in line with the survey data we have. So we would recommend an increase for this. Questions?
Any questions for council? No. Oh, Councilman Shob, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ms. McIntyre, how many staff members will this affect?
The head, the 911 call center head, one. There's one person in this position.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there anyone from the public like to comment on this? If so, please come forward. Seeing none, we can move forward.
I'll call item 6C, amending the pay schedule for employee group whose classification is assigned to the pay range, which is prefixed by the letter C, by changing the pay range for class 3158 public safety dispatcher from C19 to C20, 3159 senior public safety dispatcher from C25 to C28, and 3160 public safety dispatch supervisor from C31 to C32.
Good afternoon, Barb McIntyre, Human Resources Director, 555 South 10th Street. And we have a number of positions here. And so the public safety dispatcher, we are recommending that to a C20. And we did a market analysis on this, on all the positions that shows that we should increase these classes. In the public safety dispatcher position, it will affect 27 employees.
Thank you.
In the senior public safety dispatcher, it will affect 11. In the public safety dispatch supervisor, there are 4 people in that position. The budget, again, can absorb this and absorb those increases. I do not have that total broken out separately, but I have a total cost with the emergency communications operations manager, the next one, 6C on your list. Total cost for these changes, including 6C, is $133,542,000. So we did price that, and it's well within the amount the budget can afford. And in the emergency community, I know I'm talking about 6C now, but you're going to ask me, and there are 2 folks in that one when we get there. I'll just
Any questions?
hold.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tom. Becky.
Thank you, Chair Carlson. Barb, can you talk about, we're talking about on items 6B, 6C, 6D, pay increases for those particular positions. Can you also speak to a little bit about any effort being put in for hiring and retention for those folks as well?
Yeah, so there are a number of things that we've been working on. So we have a number of vacancies and a lot of overtime there, and obviously this is a critical service. It's our 911, our emergency communication call center. So in addition to these increases, we're also looking at a retention incentive, a bonus that would be done in agreement with the LCA union, if they are in agreement with that, where we'd offer a $4,000 retention incentive to any current staff member that's there today, paid out over 3 years. So that's another piece we're working on to try to recognize that we need to retain this staff and the critical nature of what they do.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. You know, we know that this is critical workforce. We know that this is a position also that is very uniquely positioned and has its own set of challenges and pressures along with it as well. And so thank you for taking that effort to recognize the work here, not only when we talk about salary, but also how we can retain and hire additional staff to make sure that pressure valve is released appropriately as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know there's other things that they've been working on to try to give relief to those, and because there's been a lot of overtime and stuff, but I am not the best person positioned to talk about that. But yeah.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you, guys.
Councilman Duden, go ahead.
I've got some questions of Chief Morrow, who I see spotted in the back of the room.
Good afternoon, Chief Morrow, 575 South 10th.
Yeah, some of my questions were in regards to, hasn't there been some changes and some upgrading to the training that dispatchers are going to be receiving, and more concentration on that recruiting effort, more so than in the past? It is a critical position, and it's a difficult position because it's definitely multitasking at its finest because of all the monitors that you have to keep an eye on. You have to be able to have an ear for the radio and a good ear for the public when they call in and make requests. So,
absolutely.
Why don't you speak to some of those improvements?
Sure. And to be very clear, I'm speaking on behalf of the Director Jess Lose, who is not here, and I can answer the questions on her behalf as they've been a part of the conversations, but just want to lift that up that she has led a lot of these conversations in concert with those that work in the communication center and wanting to address all of the issues. So some of the changes that I can talk about on the recruitment improvements. So much like on the commission side, where a while back we moved to taking applications 365, 24/7, we have done the same with the communication center. So we are always taking applications. We are increasing the number of academies that they can have. And again, that will be determined based on the number of applications that make it through all the way to final offer. Probably won't have an academy class for one single person. So if we had an academy projected, we may hold that person off, but committed to having more than 2, potentially 3 or 4, depending on final offers, to be able to fully staff the center. We have done some changes with the critical testing. That's part of their application and hiring process. And one of the things is we troubleshoot and make adjustments based on feedback, is look for pain points of where we can make changes. And one of those is on the critical testing. In today's day and age, not everyone has computers anymore because we can do a lot of the work on our cell phones or an iPad. But the critical testing that they use for the hiring process can only be done on a computer. And so opening up the ability for them, applicants, to come in and take that critical test, potentially even at the center in a 24/7 basis, so there is somebody present with them. Also working really hard on recruitment. Our PIO, who has done recruitment videos on behalf of the commission side, has also conducted recruitment video on behalf of the communication center, and changes have been made to our joint LPD website to reflect that the communication center is another vital aspect of the Lincoln Police Department. So lifting it up on that website as well. Prospect days, again, increased social media coverage, frequency of the academies. Also looking at growing a partnership with Southeast Community College. That is a 3-tiered approach that we are looking at, and that is, it builds upon itself, and I probably don't want to get too far out in front of my skis because there is nobody here from Southeast Community College to also share in the conversations and partnership that we're looking to develop. But it would potentially soon entail a 40-hour basic dispatcher certificate, a college credit for the LECC Academy, and then the bigger goal in building the next generation. And when we talk about the technology aspect, and that they hire at age 19 for a long, healthy, happy career in the communication center, having telecommunicators as part of the Career Academy. So we're really excited about continuing those conversations. Again, Jess Lose has been leading those, and we're really excited about what that can do for us in the future.
Very good. And, do they have things such as, if someone's interested in wanting to be a dispatcher, is there a number they can call or a website they can go to and say, hey, I'd like to at least come in and take a look, maybe sit with a dispatcher for a few hours, that sort of thing?
Absolutely. And that's one of the things that we share quite regularly, is the ability to schedule a sit-along with our telecommunicators. What we find is everyone that walks away from that, while potentially they don't think that that is a career for them, they walk away as an advocate, and that someone will share the exemplary work they will do in the center if potentially someone else is interested. So it amplifies the voices and allowing those sit-alongs. And those are available as well as working on prospect days. So while we don't have one that I can share scheduled in the books, that would be a day that anyone that is interested in a career as a telecommunicator in our communication center would come on that day and get to meet some of the staff, do sit-along, and kind of walk through what the application process looks like.
Thank you very much. I think that's what the public wanted to hear.
Absolutely. Any other questions?
Thank you. Any other questions for Chief?
Okay.
No?
Thank
Thanks for
you.
coming up. All right, is there anyone from the public like to comment on item 6C? Please come forward. Welcome.
Hi, Michelle Selvage from, 4211 Greenwood Street from the Lincoln City Employees Association, LCEA. I'm here on behalf of the board. They asked me to read a statement into the record. So, the Lincoln City Employees Association supports the city's wage increase for public safety dispatchers, senior dispatchers, and supervisors. We also appreciate the retention incentive for the Lincoln Emergency Communication Center, LECC, employees. However, LCEA strongly believes more can be done. The current retention incentive is a meaningful gesture, but it does not address the deeper issue that current and former employees have brought to LCEA, wage and equity. The starting pay in the current pay range for a public safety dispatcher, C19, is $22.915, is lower than the transit dispatcher, which is a C21, $24.088. Despite the significant higher demands, complexity, and responsibility placed on the public safety professionals. The proposed pay range for the public safety dispatcher would increase with this motion to a C20, which is $23.529, still lower than the transit dispatchers. A side-by-side comparison of the job duties makes the disparity clear and difficulty to justify the pay difference. For example, public safety dispatchers and senior public safety dispatchers handle high-stress, critical calls, including life-threatening emergencies in progress or just occurred. They are responsible for providing potential life-saving medical instructions over the phone and coordinating the dispatch of first responders to hazardous scenes, volatile incidents where responders could be facing life or death situations. The position requires 24/7, 365 coverage, including weekends and holidays, with the mandated on-call shifts, even when other departments are closed. The demands and complexities of this position justifies compensation reflecting its critical nature. Unlike other city positions, along with critical and unique staffing issues, the position requires specialized training in telecommunicator-aided CPR, emergency medical dispatch assessment questions, a knowledge of firefighting and law enforcement policies, responses, and technologies, extensive knowledge of city and county geographical locations, streets, towns, and villages. These differences in job duties and responsibilities from the transit dispatcher show that at a minimum, the public safety dispatcher should be at a pay range of C21, which matches the transit dispatchers. LCA also supports the wage structure for the public safety dispatch supervisors, as it should be reviewed and adjusted to reflect the scope of their responsibilities and maintain internal equity across city departments. Additionally, wages for the public safety dispatch supervisors are currently below market comparisons and must be adjusted to ensure competitiveness and equity. Providing a reasonable increase reflecting the added responsibilities, advanced training, and leadership duties required creates motivation to maintain a career in LCC. Like the police sergeant role, the LECC supervisors provide leadership and maintains and applies core emergency communication skills, actively contributing to the operational effectiveness of the center. Supervisors are not only required to maintain proficiency in core dispatch tasks, including call taking, police dispatch, fire dispatch, and NCIC, but are also responsible for a wide range of administrative and leadership duties. These include gathering audio and documentation for department or legal requests, handling citizen and internal complaints, developing and managing staffing plans and schedules, conducting performance coaching or counseling sessions, and with employees. Supervisors are also tasked with fostering interdepartmental collaboration through policy development, leading or attending ongoing training sessions, and coordinating during emergency activations. These responsibilities clearly reflect the need for wage structure that acknowledges both their technical expertise and their leadership demands. Again, LCA's board fully supports the proposed wage increases and the retention incentive as positive steps towards addressing the needs of the LECC. These efforts reflect a growing recognition of the critical role our members play in public safety and the commitment LPD leadership has made to support them. We believe more can be done, and we urge city leadership along with city council to go further. Wage increases must meet or exceed those of comparable classifications. Many dispatchers are already earning the equivalent of the proposed retention incentive through mandatory and voluntary overtime, highlighting just how overextended and undervalued this workforce has become. LCA suggested an independent third party, unaffiliated with the city with any city agency, be brought in to interview employees and assess the job satisfaction along with the recruitment and retention thoughts and ideas at LCC. The LECC members are our best recruiters. At this time, to our knowledge, this has not been addressed. This external perspective would help identify meaningful opportunities for improvement and support the development of impactful, lasting solutions. This is not solely an issue of retention. It's about showing the LECC staff that their job they do is important and appreciated. Competitive compensation affirms their work matters. It boosts morale, builds long-term trust, and puts the city in a position to recruit and retain the dedicated professionals needed to serve the community and support public safety today and the years to come. Thank you. Any questions?
Go ahead, Councilman Duden.
How many members are in LCEA?
The whole union is 700.
700. And how many of them are dispatchers or work at the 911 center?
Approximately 50.
How many members from the 911 center were on the negotiating team?
Well, when it started, there was one.
What happened?
He left due to the difference in the management styles. He was a supervisor.
You guys approved the recent contract?
Yes. Because you guys voted on it a couple weeks ago.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else from the public like to discuss item 6C?
Absolutely.
Sorry, I should have
Chief?
stayed closer.
You're
Michonne
fine.
Morrow, Chief of LPD 575 South 10th. I do want to just touch on just one piece of the conversation that Councilman Duden, I think that you were touching on. So we did bring this conversation forward after union negotiations, and very respectfully so, because we didn't get where we'd hoped to go. And again, respectfully, from the letter that was read on behalf of the union, want to acknowledge that the change that was approved at the personnel board, we have indicated it's a step in the right direction. So I just want to be on record and say that we agree that there is more room and more conversations that we can have. This is where we felt we could go from the personnel board to get us headed in the right direction. But certainly more conversation will happen in the future.
Thanks, Chief.
All right, any other comments on item 6C? We'll go ahead and move forward.
I'll call item 6D. Amending the pay schedule for the employee group. His classification is assigned to the pay range, which is prefixed by the letter A, by changing 3162 Emergency Communications Operators Manager from 813 to 14.
Is there anyone to present on that item?
You just left the room.
Chair Carlson, we may have probably covered a fair amount of that.
Okay.
I don't think I necessarily need anyone. I don't know about my fellow counselors.
Fairly read up on
Rick Hoppy, Mayor's Office. Hey, I just want to remind council that one of the features here is we had put that forward a number of weeks ago without having put forward the additional reclassifications for the actual dispatchers, and that's why you're being asked to take a look at that now. We think it is an issue of equity and making sure that both workers and leaders in the organization are receiving adequate compensation. Thank you.
Thanks, Rick.
Thanks. Yeah. All right, moving forward, any members of the public like to comment on item 6D? Seeing none, we'll go forward to 6E.
Item 6E is an ordinance of the City of Lincoln, Nebraska authorizing and approving an equipment lease purchase agreement with Cognate Leasing and Financing, Inc. for grounds maintenance equipment in the amount of $787.1863 in related matters.
Welcome.
Hello. Good afternoon, council members. I'm Wade Foreman with Lincoln Parks and Rec at 3131 O Street. I'm here to discuss the ordinance 2541, the proposed golf equipment lease. We say golf equipment, we're referring to pieces like a Reelmaster 3100D, which mows tee boxes, a Groundsmaster 4000D, which is a rough mower, a Greensmaster Triflex 3300D, which is for mowing the greens at the courses. In total, it's 15 pieces. This equipment is used every day by our hard-working grounds crews to ensure the courses are in excellent shape for the community. The last time we were before you to discuss this golf equipment lease was in 2019. A few key points of the agreement. It's a 6-year lease for new golf course equipment for that $787,018 with a $1 buyout at the end. Financing for the lease, we worked through the city's purchasing division with Sharon Mulder. We're utilizing the national purchasing contract through Omnia Partners that offers a discount for the Toro equipment. National contracts help us streamline the procurement process, saving time and resources by leveraging competitive work already completed by other government entities. We've used Toro equipment with our brand Toro equipment at our courses before 2010. Our staff's highly trained in how to work the Toro equipment and maintain the stock of Toro parts. As you all know, our municipal golf courses can continue to thrive and contribute significantly to our community's quality of life. Fiscal year 23-24, golfers played 235,012 rounds across our 5 courses, marking a 6.7 increase from 22-23, and the 4th highest total since 1999. In addition, youth engagement is strong with 20,084 rounds played by golfers aged 5 to 17 and 1,131 youth participated in learning programs at the Jim Ager Golf Course. Our golf course hosts 213 golf events and are considered the home course for 29 high school and college teams. These achievements reflect our commitment to providing exceptional golfing experiences with high-quality courses, excellent customer service, and affordable rates. By approving this equipment lease, we aim to maintain and enhance the standards that we have made Lincoln Municipal's golf courses a source of pride and enjoyment for our residents. Thank you for your time and consideration. We're happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Foreman?
I'm sure Logan appreciated your equipment on hole
Yes.
number 8.
I'm sure he did.
Any other questions? All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any members of the public like to comment on item 6E? Seeing none, we can go ahead and move forward.
That concludes section 6 of our agenda. We'll move on to section 7. First reading resolutions are items 7A through 7E.
Johansi Christie, City Attorney, 555 South 10th. I just
One of the items that was inadvertently left off for first reading is the introduction of the LES budget resolution and rate schedules resolution. Again, it was inadvertently left off for first reading on this agenda. However, we would like to have the public hearing, second reading public hearing on the budget for LES, the budget resolution, and the rate schedules resolution for LES on June 9th.
Councilwoman Washington.
Mr. Christie, is LES asking us, well, Chris, you've asked us, you told us it was inadvertent, and you'd like to bring this on as a first reading for a resolution, and what is its number? Where would it be? Would it be section 7F, or would it be?
Yes, section 7. Yes.
Councilman Shob.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Christie, I proceed a little bit differently. Next week, we do first reading and waive the rules and do second reading at the same time?
Yes.
Do we need to take any
I'm
action?
sorry. Oh, no. So I'm not I'm sorry. Yes. Maybe I misunderstood. Yes, that's exactly. Next week, I am just providing notice. I'm trying to provide as much notice as I can. I'm standing here at the public hearing and letting you know that the request next week will be to waive first reading, have second reading, and public hearing on June 9th.
On the same day?
Yes, and then there wouldn't vote until June, the vote would be June 23rd.
This was previously advertised, and we anticipated it being on first reading today, and that was just inadvertently left off. Is that fair to say?
Yes, when you say advertised.
I think we've been talking about this hearing for about a month now.
It's certainly been advertised, talked publicly, and I do believe that there was a pre-council session today on it that LES presented that I think was also recorded as well.
Recorded.
So,
and
yes, I think it was, and then they had their hearing in front of their board, and it's been written about as well.
I would say based on some of the emails I've received from the public has been put on notice. It was unfortunate that it wasn't included in first reading this time, but next week.
Yes.
Do you need any action from us today, a motion or a second?
No, I'm trying to just, because it was inadvertently left off, there's no action for the council to take now. I'm just standing up here in a public hearing, acknowledging it, then it would be reflected in the action after the hearing today that we did this. And then again, on a week from today, the request would be to suspend the rules and have public hearing.
So we'd have first and second, and then we'd skip a week for a holiday.
Correct.
And then come back in 2 weeks and vote on it.
Yes, so there would still be time in between the vote. Correct.
I got a question.
Go ahead, Councilman Bowers.
What would be the worst thing that would happen is if we didn't do that, right? I mean, is there like a specific timetable that we have to be on for this?
So it is required that LES needs, I think, 10 days between the public hearing and the vote to adopt. And so with the holiday in there, it wouldn't be able to happen. I think July 1 is when I think that they're adopting their
rate increase.
Yeah, and their budget. And so, yeah. And so they need 10 days in between.
Okay, that answers my question. Thank you. Thanks.
I'm sorry, I turned it off. Say it again.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Attorney. Go ahead and move forward with 8.
Section 8 is ordinances, first reading and related resolutions, items 8A through 8D. And section 9 is our pending list, items 9A through 9D.
Chair Carlson.
Councilman Beckius, go ahead.
I would like to make a motion to remove item 9A from the pending list and place on hearing for June 23rd.
I'd second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Go ahead and call the roll.
Schob,
Yes.
Beckius,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Duden,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Carlson.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0.
Glad to see it finally moving forward.
Yes. Chair Carlson, I would move for adjournment.
Second.
Motion's been made and second. Go ahead and call the roll.
Duden,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Beckius,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Carlson.
Yes, we are
Motion
adjourned.
carried 7-0.